Hey, welcome to Screenplay Junkie. My name's Drew Hellmich, and I'm a screenwriter. Film is a pretty sweet medium of art. However, before anything can make it to the big screen, it must start as a blueprint, text on paper. So if you're a fellow addict of film and storytelling, come join us as we take a look at various types of screenplays, short stories, and other source material that were crucial to the creation of the stories that we all love. I must warn you, though, there will be spoilers, so I do recommend being familiar with the title that's being discussed. Sound good? Cool. Then let's get started.
So you guys know, sitting here with me on the phone, we have Good Will Hunting this week. It's a great movie. It's well renowned, best screenplay winner, Oscar. But what does Will Hunting, the main character in this movie, what does he have in common with Napoleon Dynamite? Tell me. What do you guys think?
Great dance moves.
Well, we didn't see Will Hunting didn't dance. So,
deep down, I know deep down though he's got to be a great dancer.
What, you got anything?
Killer hair.
Oh, okay.
Napoleon Dynamite's got way better.
Or I should say wicked hair.
Lucas, what you got anything?
See, I'm looking at these two characters like they're on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yeah? Okay.
I don't know.
Why so? I want to know why.
So you guys want me to tell you why they're related?
Look at their geographical location for one.
Oh, well, that's
you got
true.
one that's living in the fucking boonies. The other one's in
Idaho. Napoleon's in Idaho.
Does he really fucking live in Idaho? I can't get over there.
Yeah, Napoleon
Is that
Dynamite.
really?
Yeah, it was Idaho, right? Wasn't it Idaho?
It was in Idaho,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was in Idaho.
We covered it. We should know.
All right. What do they have in common? Oh, man.
Well, let me tell you. What they have in common is
A really average group of friends.
Maybe.
The point I'm trying to make, or the thing I thought of, like while reading Good Will Hunting, is that both main characters, Napoleon Dynamite and Will Hunting, they don't have a goal or like an objective in their movie. Like they're the main character, and usually the main character in a movie has a goal or like has something they're trying to accomplish, and really neither character in both movies has that. And I just thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
because like you said, they're so different.
Tangible fucking goal for either character. However, Will Hunting's goal is to remain fucking stagnant, you know, to like be completely complacent and keep his barriers up, you know. So that's such like a non-goal, you know.
I suppose, yeah, doing
Very
nothing
true.
is a goal to do nothing.
Very true.
Yeah, it's not an interesting goal at all. Interesting. Yeah, no, I appreciate the analysis.
I mean, I don't know, maybe they broke down that construct though of I mean, every character, like we said, must have some sort of goal in every single story, but maybe they were able to find a way of achieving I don't know, some sort of story where your character does not really necessarily have a goal that they're outright. I mean, because Matt Damon's character is very inward. He doesn't really like to say anything, so he clearly has goals, but he's just keeping them within himself. I don't know.
We'll get into it more later.
We're getting too deep on this already.
Yeah, but you know, I think definitely right before we get it, you may be wondering who is this mysterious phone man that we have on the first episode ever guest.
Absolutely, because, well, first of all, welcome back, fellow Story X, the Screenplay Junkie episode number 34. Drew Man Bryan here, and like we said,
hello.
mystery guest.
Mystery guest.
Is fellow movie lover and aspiring filmmaker Lucas Mumm. Welcome to the show, man. Good to have you.
Good to be here.
Great for having you. Also known as Lou Berry Mum.
The Mum.
The Mum. Glad to have you here, man.
The Mummy?
Lou
Is that-
Berry
you go by the
Mum. Oh,
Mum?
man. I wish that died a couple years ago.
Well, I wanted to start out with a couple questions for you, Lucas. So, first off, where are you from?
It's kind of a mixed fucking bag. Born in like the West Des Moines area of Iowa, central Iowa, but moved up north when I was young. And by up north, northern Minnesota, land of 10,000 lakes.
Okay.
That's where I call home today. But, you know, among other moves, my dad was a plastic salesman, bumping around, you know, to different regions.
All right, cool. So, and what led you to want to be involved in filmmaking?
That's a good question. Hey, Drew, that's a really good question, man.
Well, I always just fucking love movies. Like, my dad was a really, like, handy, sort of Bob the Builder character in my life. He built, like, a movie theater in my house. And, you know, with the movie theater, you thought you needed, like, an epic DVD collection.
Oh, nice.
You know, this is, you know, when I burned through that in that movie theater, I had to run up to Mr. Movies, the local movie store, and that's pretty much what I did every weekend, man. And, you know, from there, it's just like, what characters can I come up with myself? Got a little video camera, you know?
Yeah. So what
pretty shitty stuff, really, but, you know, that's where it started anyway.
Got to start somewhere, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So what about it in filmmaking? What do you like to do yourself?
You know, I really love to do it all. You know, from writing to, like, bring it into fruition and just being involved in, like, every department, which is kind of a director's job, essentially. So I gravitate towards that, but I'm fascinated with writing and kind of pursuing that in full if I could. That seems like the most practical, probably, career path anyway.
I just wanted to touch back with what you said about being involved with everything, because I could agree with that. We could all probably agree with that, just learning as much as you can. I mean, it just makes you more knowledgeable and more aware of what everybody else is doing. So,
100%, dude.
Yeah,
you get to, like, flex all sorts of creative muscles, and if you want to get involved in, like, really putting together a production, you know.
Yeah.
And it's fun when you write a fucking idea, and you can literally
execute it. Yeah, bring it to life.
You can, like, manifest it in, like, all of its forms. And
yeah, dude, absolutely.
The writer, like, the equation to bring your production to equal what you wrote on the page and how you envisioned it is something, like, really only the greats can do. And yeah, obviously that's a life's journey, but that's the goal.
So out of all movies, anything that exists in film, why with this movie specifically did you want to join us on this episode today?
Oh, dude, I remember watching this shit being in, like, high school, and I was told about this. This was like a myth. You know, people in my high school, my group of friends, had seen this movie, but I had never, like, really done any investigation. But they'd reference it all the time. So I get fucking Netflix. I'm a early adopter for Netflix. We'll put it there. Like, in terms of technology, I jumped on this shit quick.
Yeah.
And I remember they threw it on there fairly quick, man, and I was like, oh, fuck, this is what, you know, all my buddies have been talking about. And I remember weeping, you know, watching it the first time and then
yeah.
thinking about, like, there's been times after that at least, you know. So it's it's something powerful and an anomaly that is just so fun to revisit.
It's such a
year or two, you know.
Such a good story, and I love how you brought up jumping on Netflix quick. I remember getting, like, the fake codes where it was like an account that hundreds of people were on.
Oh, dude, I do remember that.
Those were the best.
Yeah, dude. I wish I did that. I just had my mom's credit card.
So you're saying, so this is probably one of your favorite movies then?
What's that?
I said that, so this is probably one of your favorite movies then, would you say? Is that correct?
Oh my gosh, yes, dude. This is up there. Definitely in my top 10.
Yeah.
I mean, and that competes. Like, I don't, you know, once you get to, like, your top 10, your top 20, it's all a fucking, it's how you
It changes. It changes every time you tell it, you know.
Day, like, what your favorite movie is anyway. You know, it's tough to pin it down, but
Always.
after a fresh watch of Good Will Hunting, yeah, I can say it's my favorite movie, I think.
I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like, when you talk to other people about their favorite stuff, because I think I'm speaking for all of us, because I had never seen this movie, maybe like tidbits, and I never read the script, so this is completely new to me at least.
Oh,
Same.
man. So this is real fresh.
Yeah, this is real fresh.
Real
yeah.
fresh for me
Oh, I'm
myself
excited.
as well.
I'm excited to pick your guys' brain. This will be fun.
Awesome. So, do we guys do we want to get into that IMDb info then,
Yeah,
quick here?
Let's do it.
All right, cool.
Listen.
So cool. Good Will Hunting came out on January 9th, 1998. It's got great reviews from critics and from just, like, normal people as well. Although,
just like us,
within normal people, it's kind of one way or the other. Some people have it as like a 10 out of 10 movie, and then some people have it as a 1 out of 10. But it definitely leans more towards the good side. Yeah, there's a lot more people that like the movie than don't like it.
Fuckers saying?
We'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
He's getting defensive over there.
I'll go ahead and read the logline now. Will Hunting, a janitor at MIT, has a gift for mathematics but needs help from a psychologist to find direction in his life.
Wow, that was phenomenal.
He kills it every time.
So the director was Gus Van Sant. It was written by Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, and starring in the movie we got Robin Williams, Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, Stellan Skarsgård, Casey Affleck, Cole Hauser, and then Minnie Driver. So there's a lot of big names in the movie. They made the movie for $10 million, and it's grossed over $140 million. And actually, hold on, that's USA. Cumulative worldwide, we're at $225 million. So this movie made big money.
What's the date on that thing?
Oh, I don't have a date. I don't have a date. Yeah, probably with Netflix and stuff like that, the movie's making more money. But I mean, they only made it for $10 million.
Yeah,
and even that, to me, seems like kind of a lot of money, but I guess when you pay Robin Williams...
Yeah, over 9 weeks, that's pretty good. With all those names, too.
Yeah.
It is, yeah, for sure.
They must have really been convincing people to, cut their fucking rates.
Especially from two young screenwriters,
No, people believed in them, man.
Yeah.
People hopped on it. There was a bidding war on this script, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Well, I'm going to get into some of that now, Lucas. Feel free to just cut me off or come in if you got any extra knowledge.
Ooh, are we getting to the trivia?
Yeah, I'm going to go into the trivia stuff now.
Part.
So they sold...
I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, no, you're good. And like I said, feel free to jump in, anyone.
Okay.
So apparently Matt Damon and Ben Affleck sold their script to Castle Rock, right? And that's a company that's owned by Rob Reiner, if I'm correct. And they were going to get $600K for it. So apparently at no time at that time, they didn't even have a house. So they used the money that they were going to get from that deal to buy a house, but they couldn't prove that they had money, so they had to show a newspaper that showed that they had sold their script to the realtor in order for them to lease the apartment or the house. So I thought that was kind of funny.
Wow.
What?
Another thing I have here...
Yeah, and then they bought fucking Jeep Grand Cherokees, and they said they were broke in like a year, didn't they?
Oh, so they were just stupid with their money, I guess?
Yeah. Hey, that's Hollywood.
The fame, yeah, right. I could see Ben Affleck be like, "Hey, go buy a Jeep Grand Cherokee. I drive around." Who knows?
Dude, imagine that fucking money is like, what were they, 23? Your age right now.
Yeah. Just wilding out.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Hollywood.
Oh my god.
So apparently when they originally sold this script, though, to Castle Rock, Rob Reiner had some licks with it. He didn't like how apparently there were some things in the script that we didn't see or read, and there's some things in the movie we didn't see where... Our main character, Will, is having interactions more with, like, his job, like with, like, NSA or something, and Reiner didn't like that, so they chopped it out. Apparently it was, like, 60 pages or something I read.
Oh, my God.
It was a lot of pages. Something in your article, Lucas, that you sent.
What it was the fucking with the NSA. They were doing all sorts of, like, yeah, dude, cranky shit. I'm not quite sure how they described it, but...
It was weird. And, like, don't you guys think that would have been weird, like, watching him with a government job?
Like, basically described it 2 scripts in one.
Right, so what they did is Rob Reiner's company ended up parting with the script, Castle Rock, and Kevin Smith, which, I mean, we know Kevin Smith from
Clerks.
So many things, yeah. He took the script, I guess, to Miramax, which is associated with, can't remember.
Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah, Weinstein. And Weinstein liked the script, and it ended up being the highest-grossing film in Miramax history until Chicago topped it in 2002. And I guess when they were pitching their script, Matt Damon and Ben Affleck had a really clever way to choose the right studio for the script. The story goes that on like certain pages, they would write in really weird, like gay sex scenes between main characters, and it was just to see if the studios were actually reading the script. And it worked, and they ended up going with Weinstein because he was the one that pointed out, hey, this script is awesome, except for these really weird sex scenes that are out of place. And they were like, thank you for bringing that up, because we put that in there purposely.
I guess I would understand that, but like, what if they didn't... I mean, I know you want the producers to definitely read the script before they just start funding it. Just buying. They don't even know what to buy.
Yeah, wouldn't they read it?
You should, yes.
That's the part of that blows my mind. It's like,
but
wouldn't they be
writing
reading
gay
it?
sex scenes about yourselves, what's going on with that? Like, you got to start thinking about that, maybe.
Well, it's just to prove they're reading it.
Well, they're characters. They didn't know they were acting there at that point.
Well, I mean, it's probably like just to see who's reading the whole script, because most producers read like 10
No,
pages.
that's exactly what it was.
They just
totally-
read 10
totally,
pages
yeah.
and they'll be like, well,
That blows my mind.
I'll either put this, because they have a stack on their table,
Right.
that they're going to look at, and if it's like garbage by page 5 or 10, they're like, well, bye. So I don't know. That's just the tactic they use. Apparently, it's pretty funny to me.
Let's talk about Matt Damon. Crazy enough, he actually went to Harvard, not MIT, but still Harvard. Pretty awesome. And
Yeah.
he was in an elective playwriting class in his 5th year, apparently, and it was like an objective in the class to write a 1-act play. And this is where he started writing Good Will Hunting. And
Yeah.
it all started from this idea he got in this class. Apparently, Matt Damon, he like dropped out of Harvard, I guess, never finished, just to pursue acting and writing. And another cool thing that I looked up is that he discussed this idea that he had for this movie with a professor at Harvard, this guy who had this Nobel laureate in physics, right? Because originally he wanted to make Will Hunting a physics prodigy, but this professor was telling him, no, like mathematics is more like magical. It has more of an allure to it. Like, you got to make this guy a math dude, and that's kind of that's what swung the whole story in that kind of direction. So that's pretty cool. Let's see. Something I found was that people said that Casey Affleck ad-libbed a lot of his lines, but didn't you guys think his lines matched up to the script, like, spot on?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
most
worked.
of it, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm calling bullshit on that.
I'm calling bullshit on that.
Ooh, you guys are all gonna love this. This is my last bit. This is my golden nugget of trivia here. So Minnie Driver's character Skylar, right? This is the love interest of Matt Damon in the movie. Well, her name is Skylar in the film because Matt Damon's girlfriend at the time of writing the film was Skylar Satinstein, who left Matt Damon for a Metallica drummer before filming even began.
Oh, no.
But they kept her name.
Oh my god.
They kept her name the same, right? And then Matt Damon and Minnie Driver actually became romantically involved while filming the movie.
Really?
Of course they did.
Of course. But it didn't work out.
Of course they did. Young lovers, man, had to get close.
That's hilarious, though. Poor
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
And that's all I got.
Well, thank you.
Do you have any other trivia, Lucas?
The only scene that remained from the original script, after all of the fucking, Mickey Mouse, hoopty-doopty bullshit they had to go with Hollywood Studios, the only scene that remained was when Matt Damon's character, Will, and Robin Williams' characters meet, So that was the only scene that was left in the movie from the original script. And it's probably one of the most powerful, and tells so much about each character.
I totally agree with that. Just the whole interaction between Robin Williams and Matt Damon, just their whole connection.
Man, getting strangled. I will end you. He said.
That was powerful. He was showing.
awesome.
I laughed at that.
And Will Hunting says, "Time's up." Oh man, the power was just, flipped and flopped.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's cool. Finally someone standing up to him.
Amazing.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
I didn't realize they went through that many revisions on Jesus. It's crazy. Script info. Written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. We don't have a known date or draft of the script that we read. It was 121 pages, although the text was small and not in industry standard. So, all right, let's get into this. So there were pretty much like very little differences between the screenplay version and the film. However, let's start with a quick plot review and talk about the characters. So, Will, what do we got?
He's the main character. This is Matt Damon. In the film. I guess the way I would describe it if I were to pitch this movie to someone would be Matt Damon he is a struggling, mid-teens. I'm sorry.
He's 20.
He's a man. He's essentially a
He
man.
turns 21 in the movie,
Yeah,
right?
he turns 21 in the movie, so he's essentially...
he's awful young for acting like that.
He's
so.
basically a man.
That's fucked up, man.
Uh-huh. he has the brain of a wizard, and he just hasn't recognized it yet. And adults are trying to help him find the right path to success, basically.
Yes. All right, so we got Chucky. Who's Chucky?
Best friend of Will, construction worker. He's a natural-born entertainer, and he's just kind of like a leader of the crew. Like, he's always driving the car. He's always cracking the jokes. Mm-hmm. He's Ben Affleck.
Yeah, he's a fucking archetype, is what he is.
So who's Lambo, Lucas? Who's Lambo?
He provides some of the most, he provides the conflict in the movie. He is the guy who is imposing his beliefs onto other characters and believes that young Will should use his powers for good and not indifference, you know?
Yeah.
He's a professor at M.I.T. who won the Fields Medal and is very proud of all of his accomplishments, but doesn't give a care in the world about how he treats people.
Yeah.
And all he wants Will to do is just fulfill his potential. He just wants to see Will just be this math wizard just like him.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then we got a couple other people here. We got Billy, who's like, I mean, another Will's friend. He's supposed to be fat in the screenplay. He's kind of just there. He doesn't really talk much, but he's like tough, I guess.
Hey, I'm tough. I'll beat the shit out of you.
Wait, Billy was supposed to be fat in the screenplay.
Yeah.
Right.
I must have missed that. Couldn't imagine.
I was rooting for a fat guy. I kind of wanted to see one. You know, just one of the, like a fat, redheaded Irish guy.
Just like a Jonah Hill running around.
Like they could have got the kid from The Sandlot, you know, Ham. They could have got him.
Yeah, true.
Oh, my God.
It would have been fucking perfect.
And then we got Skylar. She's a Harvard student, senior, about to graduate. She wants to go to Stanford afterward to become a doctor.
She's from England.
Yeah, in the screenplay, no, though. She's paying for her education. Her father passed away, left her an inheritance. So, and then we got Sean, who's Robin Williams' character, and he's like
A shrink.
Yeah, he's a teacher at community college. He's lost his wife.
Tragically.
So him and Will really connect. They complete each other. They turn each other's lives around. Essentially,
he turns into the father figure. Sean.
Absolutely.
Basically.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I got a question for you guys. Just that we were talking about Will and his friends, because as the film opens, we get to see Will hanging out with his buddies in South Boston. So what do you think about the interactions between Will and his friends? Did you like them? Do you think they're authentic?
Yeah, it's like, hello, South Boston. I feel like I'm right there with them.
No, I definitely agree with just the whole...
Yeah, no, I always wanted a group of hoodlums to hang out with like that.
They just pulled it off well with just the young, like, basically my age, like, interactions, you know? They're always just, like, bullshitting around, like, swearing, making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Talking to chicks.
Right.
You know?
Good story.
They're just some poor kids with nothing better to do than just to be up to no good.
Yeah, basically.
And I know we mentioned South Boston, so, I mean, prior to this movie, maybe there's some other movies where they explored this area of South Boston in films, but
Southie, yeah.
I mean, seems like a pretty unique area, and I've never seen this in a movie since post Good Will Hunting, Boondock Saints or anything like that. So I think Good Will Hunting maybe was the first movie to explore this area. I could be wrong.
I don't know.
Interesting.
Have you guys seen
I never even
Black
thought
Mass
about that.
with Johnny Depp?
No.
That takes place in South Boston. Okay.
Wow.
And his name was Whitey Bulger, or Whitey Bulger, right? Bulger.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's him.
Whitey. And Whitey was a huge mafia head while they were doing while this movie was going on, while the shoot was going on. And Robin Williams wanted to get a little taste of South Boston at one point, before shooting.
Right.
And dude, they had a little squad, little gang, chase him out of a bar essentially.
Ooh. Wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
No,
pretty wild.
it seems like a very tasteful area, something that would build character.
Mm-hmm. All right, cool. I guess the next question that we have here is, what do you guys think of Will when we first meet him, and then up until he meets Lambo?
I mean, I put that question in there specifically because I just want to address that. To me, it's unrealistic how smart Will Hunting is for someone who's never been educated formally. Because,
You can't just...
I get teaching yourself stuff, but you can't teach yourself the advanced mathematics that guy's doing. It's kind of unrealistic. right?
But I mean, all movies are though.
Yeah, and I get that. I get it.
Well, that
Yeah.
and just to be like, you think
just
you're
saying.
that smart, but not to recognize.
But
that
you're right though.
That smart, basically, is like what you're saying. Like what I'm trying to
No,
say.
he knows
is
he's
just
smart.
like-
He knows.
He knows he's smart.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like there. I guess there would be no movie if he's like, I'm smart, I'm going to go make money. Like,
Yeah,
if
that's
that
what
was.
makes the movie so epic, because it could never fucking happen.
Like, I mean, just like my thing is like they say, at least specifically in the screenplay, that Will Hunting could read a page in 1 second, a page of a book in
Dude,
a
I saw
second.
that in the notes. No way, dude.
And I'm like, what else can he do? Like
That's
jump
not
over
accurate.
buildings? Like, does he have laser beam vision like Superman? Like, who is this guy? This guy's the man.
Yeah.
So it's a little unrealistic, but still, he's a
That's
character.
heavy information.
He's a
you
character
know,
you want to
info.
root for,
Yeah.
no matter what. No matter how unrealistically smart he is, you want him to succeed.
Well, it's hilarious because he's super smart, but he's also like
A
I mean,
fuckboy.
a thug, basically.
Yeah. I mean, he
like,
beats the shit out of a guy.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
remember
true.
when
Fights
he goes
cops.
to jail, you know? Yeah, right. It's great. It's such a great combo. I don't know. I mean, I've never really seen anything like that before. I mean, unless it's like a supervillain in like a James Bond movie, I guess.
Right.
That's about it.
And that's perfect that we just brought up the fact that he like was fighting people and he was fighting cops, because like this whole movie kind of culminates in the first 30 minutes or in the first 30 pages of the screenplay, where we find out he's super smart. He's completing these equations as a janitor at MIT. He's solving equations on the chalkboard when no one's around. And then meanwhile, he's getting into fights with kids that were bowling him in kindergarten. And then he's fighting cops, getting arrested. And it all culminates to the MIT professor finding out who he is.
Yep.
And saying, hey, to the judge, he can be under my court supervision. And then let's get this kid on track, right? Because what's his name? Lambeau, he just wants to make him into a prodigy,
Yes.
right?
He
So
recognizes his skill.
so it all culminates into them being together because of the law, right? By a judge, he has to see Lambeau and do the math and like be the prodigy, and then he also has to see Robin Williams for the therapy.
Yes.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of like
Agreement.
I don't know, catalyst for the events that unfold. You know,
Yeah.
But it all works.
the story sets up what's about to unfold for itself. You know what I mean? It's very fascinating. It's brilliant screenwriting.
It is. I mean, they do a good job as far as like tying things together. I think for sure. So I mean, yeah, Will. So he's totally cool with doing all the math. He's like, yeah, fine, like
Because
whatever.
it's
This
easy.
is so easy.
It's so easy for him.
But
Yes.
then, like,
So unrealistic.
simply going to a therapist. I mean, maybe not simply, but going to a therapist and just talking about your life is just insanely difficult for him to do. So what they say, he goes through like 5 therapists, and they're all just like, "No, I'm done. I like this kid. I can't deal with him. I don't want him anymore."
So then, the math prodigy teacher, whose name I keep forgetting, what's his name? Lambeau Field. He takes Will to Sean, which is Robin Williams' character, who apparently was his roommate in college, right? And he thinks that he's perfect for him because he also grew up in the neighborhood that Will Hunting is growing up in, or currently lives in, Southie.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Southie.
And it's pretty cool that the only scene that lived on from the original screenplay was the one we're about to talk about. The scene, I guess, where Will and Sean first meet. And we already kind of covered it, but
Yeah,
it's pretty cool that that stuck around.
yeah,
That's
right.
the only thing.
It's a very like that whole interaction. You could go so deeply in it because it's so. It like reads kind of like an awkward, like for me at least, because it's just like one word answers. He's like, "Do you like those books? Do you read those books?" You know, like questions like that, and it's just like, if I were in that situation, I'd be like, "Why are you talking to me? Why are you talking to me like that?" You know, like it would be weird, like that. He's really like Robin Williams. I guess was just trying to like pick his brain. I guess just learn
Yeah.
what he actually does.
And all Will's trying to do is just to like mind fuck him somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just fuck him, dude. Oh my gosh, it is just like a mudslinging of questions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not good or quality questions that already have answers. You know, and
Yeah.
that says so much about a character. You know, that purposely asks questions like that are, you know, there to, I don't know,
Just like such simple,
kind of
I guess
trip
like
the other
open
character
ended.
up.
Yeah.
Well, it's awesome how the scene like cultivates it. I mean, Robin Williams is choking out his patient because he said something about his dead wife that he didn't like, and that's how they end their session. But yet he agrees to see this guy again, right?
Yeah.
And then they they agree to meet in their next session, and then they go to the park right for that whole scene. Well, Robin Williams gives his Oscar-winning speech essentially for supporting actor. Right,
Yeah.
He won an Oscar for this movie, well deserved. And I mean that speech, right? Wow, like Drew, you have written here in our notes.
Yeah. It reads on. It takes up a whole page.
Yeah, it
takes
takes
up
the
a whole
longest
page.
dialogue that we've ever seen.
I've never seen that before ever because it happens twice in the
my
screenplay.
gosh, yeah, man, it was poetic. It was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
They actually had 3,000 spectators that weren't on set that the police had to crowd control.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw that because the
Yeah,
park.
while
Like,
they were recording that.
everyone knew they were recording that day in the park. So and Robin Williams was
Yeah.
a star, so they all showed up. All these people with nothing better to do.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, to hear him deliver this amazingly emotional and serious speech.
Yeah, right.
And he did that in front of
If they could
3,000
hear it,
quiet
like,
people.
Oh my gosh!
That's amazing.
What a performance to witness.
Because, I mean, like we've been saying, Will's been meeting with all these therapists, and they can't deal with him. But now Sean is open to the task of getting through to Will. So in the previous first meeting that they had, Will clearly had the power in that scene. Mm-hmm. But now Sean is going to display his power because basically what he tells Will is that Will is a genius. He is a genius, but he's a stupid boy because all he does is read texts that are high learning, but you're just absorbing information. You're not really experiencing anything in life that's actually going to teach you anything.
Yeah.
Because he's too afraid to do anything. He's settling of being just smarter than everyone, book smart. I guess
he's never left
I'm not
house.
gonna say book smart, street smart, but like he doesn't know. He has never traveled. He's never loved. He's never gone to war. All of these things that you learn a lot from. He's
Never been out of Boston.
He's never done. Yeah, he's never done any of that stuff. So it's like, dude, you really don't know what you're talking about.
Didn't that scene kind of hit you guys? Like, just being young men ourselves, just like, fuck, like, I am an idiot. I don't know anything.
Yeah, I mean, because everybody thinks they know everything.
That's how I felt. I felt like Robin Williams was talking to me there, just telling me, like, hey, like, you're just stupid. You don't know anything. Like, Jesus, you're dumb.
We brought up in love, because that was one of the things that Sean had mentioned in his speech to
Well, this
Will.
movie's listed as a romance. It's a drama romance.
Yeah, okay.
So there's all kinds of love in this. There's love everywhere.
Nah, most definitely.
Love is in the air.
Because that's what Will begins to start. Him and a girl begin to like each other.
Harvard girl.
That's Minnie Driver. They meet in a bar, which is a really good scene.
Yeah, I liked it.
But he eventually pushes her away because she tells him that she loves him, but he can't say it back, even though he probably wants to. But he's afraid to continue on with the relationship, maybe.
Yeah, that whole like interaction you just described, it's like a what would you call it? It's like a psychologist's dream to like break down like his thought process of why he couldn't continue that relationship and how he got scared when she asked him to move to California.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just like, hey, do your project on social work on this. Like absolutely could. It's kind of ridiculous. He pushes her away and all she wants is to be with him, but it's just because he had a horrible upbringing and he can't trust anyone.
So, okay, I got two questions for you guys then, okay? So, everything about Will that you knew up to this point once he started dating Skylar, and then once you saw him dating Skylar, did your thoughts change of Will? Like, did you start to dislike him because of how he was treating her?
I mean, he was going through some fucked up shit through the early days.
And then, but I have a follow-up question.
You know? Didn't he get arrested like right after he met her?
Yes.
True. But when someone is just throwing themselves at you saying, I love you, like, all I want to do is be with you, and then you just reject them, but when deep down he loves her, it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't, like, he definitely hurt her at the end, but he...
Are you pre-law?
Yeah,
You
right.
know, by chance have to be pre-law.
She was pre-med.
Pretty mad, yeah.
I mean, okay, but at least for me, like, he was, like, really pissing me off, like, as far as who he was, because I understand with his past, but for me to like him more and understand of how he was treating her, I wanted to know what happened in his past. I wanted to see more of it, not just, like, these brief flashbacks of it. I wanted to see more proof of why he was doing that to her.
So you really understood why he couldn't open up to her or to Robin Williams at first or to anyone, really.
But I guess that's the mystery.
They talk about it enough.
They talk about it, but I guess I just wanted more of it. But I mean, I could see why they did that. Maybe they want the viewer, the audience, to feel like Robin Williams' character feel like Minnie Driver's character, to feel like what they're going through.
Because they don't know. You weren't there.
Because you just don't know. It's just a mystery.
Yeah.
You know, maybe.
I wonder how you convey that.
It's just speculation, yeah.
It's tough. I mean, either way, we all know he ends up with the girl in the end, but he puts her through some serious shit. He puts her through some shit.
She might have said, fuck you.
I mean,
she drove all the way out to California and she said, fuck you.
I think, yeah, right. He would have drove all that way, yeah.
We would have no idea.
I think Minnie Driver...
And then he just comes back and spends his whole life drinking fucking beer and demoing buildings, dude.
Back in Southie.
Girl said no. He got discouraged, and then, you know...
Yeah. He was afraid,
back
man.
to mediocre. You never know.
He ends up going back to the girl. She does. Well, we don't know what happens. Lucas was just speculating that she rejects him.
Good Will Hunting 2, coming in 2020.
Good Will Hunting is still hunting.
Bad Will Hunting.
But besides, like, before he drives across the country to meet up with his girl, he opens up with Sean, his therapist. He finally accepts that his past wasn't his fault, right? All those awful things that happened to him, being an orphan,
I just want to point out that
abused.
Robin Williams says it's not your fault 7 times.
7 times.
It's 7 times.
It's not your fault.
Oh, it happens so much.
It's not your fault.
Oh, God.
Matt, stop.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. All right, so in the movie... So then it ends as he puts like a letter in a mailbox of Robin Williams saying, hey, I'm not taking this sweet job. I'm going to go see about a girl. Right?
What a great line, dude. I love that.
Robin Williams is like, you stole my line. This movie ends, and it's like,
stole my line.
And then you're like, I feel so good. I feel like I can conquer the world.
I love how they tied that back.
Yeah.
It's this whole movie really is. It is pretty good. I mean,
oh my gosh,
it makes sense why it won Best Original Screenplay.
From a storybook, like a fairy tale.
It's a grim story, huh?
No.
Well,
I know, but you said it's like a fairy tale.
It is.
Because she only likes movies with happy endings.
Wait, who does?
My mother. My mother only likes movies with good endings.
So she doesn't like The
Or
Mist.
happy endings.
Ooh, jeez,
You know?
Drew. Has she ever seen Seven? What's in the box? It's like, what's in the box?
God, you fucking hate it, man.
What's in the
You hate
box?
Seven. No, that's what's hard about being a director, is making sure your mom likes the movies you're making. I think that's the biggest restraint, biggest limitation.
If it passes mom's code, is it all right?
Oh man, and that's like threading the needle. I'd have to do all sorts of contortioning to my story in order for her to like it.
All right, so I want to take you guys on a thought bend real quick. So there's really no main goal for our main character here, right? Will Hunting, like in this whole movie, does he really have a goal? No, right? Like
a female in the end.
Well, yeah, he wants the girl. He likes the girl.
Yeah, he's just trying to figure his life out.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like Will, I'm trying to figure my life out.
Well, just think of other movies you watch. Like, think of an action movie. Oh, I have to save this person. Oh, like, think of a comedy. Oh, like Adam Sandler is watching this little kid and he's peeing on his floor. Like, there's goals. Like, you have to, like, there's always goals in movies, right? It's just kind of weird where the main character here doesn't have a goal, and that's why I was bringing up Napoleon Dynamite earlier, right? Because there's really no goal for that main character.
I guess the goal is to see him succeed, where the characters that support him, that's the goal, to see good Will Hunting.
That's where my point eventually ends up, Bryan, is that the real goal here is that Robin Williams and the math professor, it's their goal to see Will succeed. That's the real goal of the movie, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
But something I just wanted to bring up is that in movies where the main character doesn't have a goal, sometimes it's like a villain that has a goal. So like think of like Home Alone, right? Like the bad guys, their goal was to break into Macaulay Culkin's house, right?
Yeah,
so there's no villain.
So,
there's no villain in Good Will Hunting, though.
They force the main character to do things.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's just kind of what happens here. The main character, Will Hunting, is forced
Really
to do
interesting.
things because he has goals set for him by his advisors.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
wow.
it incites him to do things. It's an interesting way to structure your characters, for
Yeah.
sure.
Like, there's not many movies that work like that.
No. That was a good example, Home Alone. Wow, I'm over here thinking real hard.
His goal initiative.
What are the best jobs for Will Hunting? Like, that you guys can think of? Because my perfect job, living life in the fast lane, Will Hunting should be a sports gambler. He should just learn everything about sports analytics, and he should just bet on sports. Like that James Holtower guy.
Dude,
Dabble a little bit in stock exchange.
there's
stocks,
that, or
technically gambling for betting.
True.
There's that, or he has a great memory. I would love him as my taxi Uber driver. He would know exactly where I need to go. He could read a map and study it.
Dude,
and
there's
tell me where to go.
Have you ever heard of Google Maps? Like, you don't need someone to memorize where the roads go.
Don't be complaining if you have Matt Damon as your Uber driver and he knows where to go.
If Matt Damon picks me up, I'm just gonna be like, dude, like, your career must be really in the drain right now. Other jobs though for Will Hunting, I got Jeopardy contestant. Like, he knows everything. He'd just be slapping the buzzer, just boom, boom, just winning every day.
I'm just gonna go with high school geometry teacher.
Wow,
teaching proofs.
Oh my gosh!
Because
he would have no patience for those children.
Yeah, but he wouldn't care. He would just do it, and then he would get off work and just go drink and just beat some people else.
Were those the one? Like, let's say you would like prove angles to be parallel, and then you have to show why.
Yeah, it's like all he did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Other jobs I have here is mad scientist. I think he'd be a great mad scientist, and he'd be a great spy like Jason Bourne. Just boom, Will Hunting, aka Jason Bourne. I mean, he's good at fighting. He's super smart. Secret agent.
I like it.
He'd be a really good Siamese twin, like in Stuck on You.
He's savage. I had some worse jobs here. The only one I really want to mention is that he'd be a terrible motivational speaker, especially to therapists. A therapist motivational speaker. He'd be horrible.
That would be really bad.
He'd just be like, "You're all gay."
Yeah.
I think next, Lucas, you got some talks on the editing booth?
Well, we were talking a little bit about how, it went through this crazy sort of script-to-screen process. And, when you look at the final script, they really chop some shit up to make, like, storylines work. If you look at, like, if you follow it like Screenplay, the Instagram account, per scene, but on a larger scale and go scene to scene, look at those sequences, they really rearrange some things. Did you guys notice that at all? I found it hard to follow, but maybe you guys just read it separately.
So this screenplay specifically, you're saying it was different? It was very different than the movie, or like an earlier draft?
No, dude. Like, they basically in the editing itself. So they
Oh,
would
the
get the full
editing.
scenes and edit them together, but then they would just like rearrange the sequence. Rearrange the puzzle.
Oh, yeah.
So, in the timeline of the entire film in such a way that like actually lets time make sense in the movie. Because time is an important part of film. And sometimes in the script, writing these scenes out and allowing them to be interpreted on a timeline, it might be skewed. But then putting them on screen, they have to align in such a way that allows the viewer to follow.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And kind of, because time is an illusion in film.
Yeah, like I wonder how much time even took place over this movie, right?
That's
like,
actually really interesting.
It was supposed to be months.
Yeah, you don't know.
Ooh, it's an illusion. Time is an illusion.
In film. I like
time
that.
Is an illusion.
Hell yeah.
Time is an illusion. I think Christopher Nolan said that. Well, it's not. He didn't fucking create that saying, but man, does he play with it?
Yeah, he does.
Hell yeah, and Memento he did.
Yes,
He had
sir.
a lot of fun within
Yes,
that.
sir.
Oh my God, Memento.
All right, boom. Do you guys think we should move into final thoughts?
Yeah, it sounds good to
Final
me.
thought.
I
Final thought.
think I'm ready.
Go ahead, Brian. Brian's
Okay,
going to start us off.
I've been waiting to say this. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I have this relative point that I think I've thought about for a while when it comes to stories and movies. And I'm not that big of a book reader myself, but reading screenplays I'm a huge fan of. And I think there is a difference between that movies / screenplays / books should stay. Like a movie, like some screenplays should stay as just a written text, I feel. And Good Will Hunting, like I said at the beginning,
I know
I
what
fell
you're saying.
asleep during this movie. Yes, we watched it at a late time at night, but I had more fun reading it and learning the story, letting my own imagination drag for like what was happening. And then the movie was just like, it's just a story about like this kid's life, basically. I don't know. I just felt more enjoyed reading it, and like just seeing this as a novel would just probably pass.
It's a different experience for sure. I agree.
You had me cracking up.
Yeah.
Bryan, just because you were like, oh, like I just really like reading it so much more. And then I was yelling at him because I was like, that's because you missed all the amazing Robin Williams speech parts. Like, you missed all the good parts with Robin Williams.
You don't even have a fucking leg to stand on here.
You just were asleep for those parts.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but you were just asleep.
You didn't give yourself the privilege of a proper viewing.
But yes, I guess, a huge fan of the screenplay. I should definitely get this under like a full watch. I'll do it one of these days. I promise you that. But I'm a huge fan. Like, kudos to young Ben Affleck and like young Matt Damon. Like, amazing for them to write this. I'll go 4 out of 5. Like, I think it's a great, well-written story.
And do you think it deserved to win Best Screenplay?
It's phenomenal. There's a reason they won.
I'd like to see the competitors.
I have the. What'd you say, Lucas?
No, it's a reason they won the Oscar. The screenplay's enjoyable to read.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
The only other movie you'll know that was going up against them that year in 1997 for the Oscar was Boogie Nights.
I give it to Good Will Hunting.
Mark Wahlberg.
Wasn't Titanic out the same year?
No. So the rest of them were As Good as It Gets, Deconstructing Harry, and The Full Monty.
I haven't seen
Never heard
any
of
of those.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
I've heard of all of them. I just never seen them.
Good Will Hunting won. And I mean, I'll just go now. I love it. I'll go 4 stars with you, Bryan, based on the movie. I definitely think it deserved to win its Oscar. I think the story is really cool. My favorite part of it is just exploring the idea of this main character who's kind of like an anti-hero. Like, he's kind of a piece of shit, but yet you still root for him. Like, he's a guy who has all these flaws, but is still someone who really can like contribute to society, right? Because this guy's so smart.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I really like about this movie.
Hero.
Yeah, he's a complex hero. Someone you really, you don't like at certain points, but then you really do like. Really complex, just really cool character study. That's what this movie really is. And it's not just Will, too. I mean, look at Robin Williams. His character is super interesting. Having a dead wife, not being able to move on, like, being, what about the other professor, Lambo, right? Their whole, like, contradiction where Lambo is the guy that took his career in science and academics super seriously and thinks that he's successful. Whereas Robin Williams is the guy who took the more chill route, the love route. Yeah. And he doesn't care that he wasn't successful. He still believes he had a good life. So, amazing character study. That's why it won Best Screenplay. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Lucas.
Final thoughts on the movie as a whole. Oh my gosh, it's a fun movie to talk about. It's a fun movie to just like share excitement for because it's just this. It's a beautiful story about a boy with zero direction being shepherded. What's the fucking verb for that?
Yeah, we'll do shepherded.
That makes sense. I get it.
You nailed it, bro. Shepherded.
Hard, almost common issues that we all go through as humans is, how do we actualize our potential? And, where does the initiative come in? Dude, I don't know. It's a beautiful movie. Makes me either cry if I'm really into it, or at least choke up every time.
True. Am I up? All right. Yeah, I mean, I'll be brief. I think the screenplay is written very well. I mean, I could view this film in like 3 different areas. Like, I view this film as a buddy film. Like, if it was just Will and his buddies running around doing hooligan stuff, I would have been there the whole time watching it because I thought that was hilarious. Let's see what else. The romance, that was interesting. It held me in there. And then also just the dramatic premise of Will being a genius, being a janitor, trying to figure his life out. Because I know, Lucas, you said that just because you spoke for me. You were saying that this movie, specifically Will, at his root, can speak to everybody because around that age, whatever, it doesn't even matter what age you are, everyone's trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to do with their life. So
exactly.
That's what really spoke to me the most about this movie.
Dude, it is. I think one of the most powerful moments in the movie, they're in Sean's office and he's asking Will, like, what do you want to do? And Will's like, I could live, I could build someone's home. That's noble. That's honest work. I could fix someone's car, help them out in life, and he's throwing out all these answers. And he actually said, we said shepherd, I was trying to cough up the verb of that.
Right.
He says he's going to be a shepherd. He's going to shepherd sheep, you know?
Yeah.
And...
Which is a bullshit answer.
When Sean confronts him with the question, you know, well, what are you going to do? You have a choice. And he makes it very clear to Will that he has a choice and he needs to act on it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that's like a question that we all face.
Yeah, totally.
You know, I think that's why it makes this movie just so powerful.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. That's like I said, that was what spoke to me the most.
For sure.
I mean, a big powerful thing for me, too, is just not to dwell on your past. Like, obviously, Will's past is, like, really, you know, like, traumatic and awful. And something I couldn't even imagine going through. But,
right.
I mean, just as individuals ourselves, we can realize, you know, hey, I'm not going to dwell on my past. I'm just going to work on the future. So, that's cool, too.
Enhancement, no doubt. Yeah.
Don't let your shit hold you back.
Yeah. Well, I think that's it, guys, right?
Hell yeah.
I
time
think
to
that's
wrap
it
up
for the episode, yeah.
Well, hey, Lucas, thanks for coming out with us today.
Thank you so much.
Hope you had a good time, man.
Guys, no, it was fun. I've never really been part of a film club. This is probably the closest I'll ever get to it.
We technically are a film club.
Awesome. Yeah.
I mean, we didn't say that.
Movies,
he said it. We didn't say it.
watching
You
great
said
scripts.
it.
I mean, it's a good way to experience a movie.
And hopefully, I know, like the main purpose of this show is to, as filmmakers, viewers, whatever. I mean, hopefully, you can take something from this and put it into your own stuff that you want to make. Just make yourself a better creative person. No matter what platform you're using to listen to us, I just want it to be known that we're available on iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. So if you like our content, please be sure to follow all of our channels so you can stay in the loop with new episodes. Also, feel free to give us a rating and leave us comments, or send us an email at screenplayjunkie.show@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. Also, if you have any recommendations of screenplays we should read, movies we should watch, or really anything, let us know on any of our platforms. We're always looking for other things to check out. On the next episode, we're going to take a look at the 2001 Justin Long and Gina Phillips horror film, Jeepers Creepers. Thank you for listening. We hope you can join us next time.